Hello everybody, my name is Zelenator and welcome back to Ultimate Minecraft Polyworld episode 442. We're in the full release of 1.16.2. I didn't realize it changed the resource pack version in this very version. Pre-release 3 was still using the previous format. Yes, I know I'm live. Alright, so. Howdy and welcome back. I still have the same problem of which I have not dealt with yesterday. I need to get an E in here and a W in here. Except the E has to be 5 blocks wide, whereas the W has to be 5 blocks wide. If that's like that, I should probably... I wonder if I could... I wonder if I can make an E that sort of looks like an E. Like, what if I were to start with a C, and then I just did that? Surely that's an E, right? We're gonna do that though, make it taller. I'll do the U as well. Time approaches, set that down, reset the weather timer. So here's where the difficulty comes in. How to make W. Oh wait, hold on. I think I know how to make a W. You start out with a big ol' U. Then you do that. And get rid of the corners. That's a W, right? Maybe I'll make that taller. Maybe it's M for mini. Let's reset the weather timer real fast. Alright, so. Is that off center? I wonder if I did it. Or I should say if I moved it up. Oh wait, hold on. No, I think the previous design looked better. Well, here, I think I want to move it up though. Alright, well, either way, let's just start dropping all the snow, see how it looks. Nope, I think it looked better before. Alright, so then that means... Gotta dig all that up. I wonder, if I were to use a Silk Touch pickaxe on a snow block, would it drop the whole snow block, or do I need to use Silk Touch on a shovel to drop the snow block? Is it even possible to do that? This is looking like something out of Space Invaders. That's not what we're going for. There we go. Yeah, that feels better balanced now, even though it is indeed offset. And I can't do anything about that. Alright, so... let me just fill all this in real fast. I don't think I've ever done a 4, that's the word. I don't think I've ever done a 4 block tall thingy before. 4 block tall E. Oh wait, this one's gonna have to be 4 blocks as well. Oh, you know what? No, it doesn't. I'll just do that. We'll probably simplify though. Hold up. There we go. This does not entirely look how I anticipated it to be, and I kind of feel like the letters might be too far this way. I don't know, because if I were to replace the outer part of this with something else, if I were to replace all the snow with, say, stone, I feel like there would not be much space. Fix the level loading issue. Level separator was not being consumed. I'll take your word for that. Alright, so now that this is all taken care of, what I'll probably do... Howdy, Koski, welcome back. Oh wait, I don't have dirt. I was realizing I could probably start filling all this in. I don't particularly think that needs to be like that. But what we're instead going to do is... head back home. I could put away the snow and the brick, and we'll be back, I guess, with just stone. No, I should also have something that surrounds the brick, though. Unless I do keep it as is. Decisions, decisions, decisions. You know what I could do? I do stone brick instead. There we go, that'll be something different. I wonder how much stone brick I have. If I really wanted, I could cook up a massive amount of cobblestone, turn it into stone, and then turn all that stone into stone brick. Beep beep, Mr. Golem. You know what, maybe I should have gotten it right. Oh well. Yawn. Alright, so bricks go back here, I believe. Still a big old lag spike crossing chunk borders. And then snow was... Where did I have snow? It's an alpha 1.0.4 item. Oh, here it is. I'll need to repair the shovel, but that can wait. I'll put away the slime balls since I keep getting more. And I needed to first examine how many stone bricks we're currently sitting at before I decide whether or not to go for it. I wonder if there's a difference in contrast. Oh, you know what I could do? How about I use stone brick for the primary circle, and then stone for the smaller ones. There we go. Yeah, this will be plenty. I'll probably also take a sugar box back. And how about steal some of this dirt? Or a better idea. This way I won't run out. Alright, back to work. I'm nearly done, hopefully. Amy Pond, I forgot I called it that. If you're saying it got dispatched today, does that mean it got redispatched? You got the notification twice. You did hear Amy Pond. I called the pond in front of the warehouse Amy Pond. Because I thought it was funny. Alright, let's wrap this up because I'm ready to see how it looks on the map. I'll need to start deciding that waterfall as well, because this probably was the best corner and I've just done goofed it. Alright, first, dirt, because I want to fill in all this extra stuff, that way I know what I'm doing. I don't currently have plans to work on a river over here, unless if I were to construct one from scratch. There would need to be a special river, one that just exists out in the middle of nowhere isn't going to do me any good. I might have had enough dirt that was already sitting in the chest. Oh well. I wanted this filled in so that way I know where exactly the border is supposed to be. Now I can toss all that back. Alright, next, I wanted the stone brick to surround the cobblestone. Oh wait, that one there. For the amount of cobblestone I laid down, feels like a waste with the amount I dug up. Not only with the pointers, but also with the border here. The point of a river is to have it be relatively thin and just go on for a while. I have plenty of lakes already over here, but none of them feel like a river. I have a very, very small river, if you would want to call it that, near the Block Museum that goes into the backyard of my house. I'm not currently doing anything with that, though. I can't remember if it was naturally generated or not, because I remember doing some work on it. And now I'm no longer able to visualize what it is you're talking about. How would water stretch out multiple land masses? Because then it's water, it's not land. Oh, where's my bed? Darkness approaches. Oh wait, you know what? Hold on here. We're already almost done. We'll see if I do any more aquatic work. Because the reason why I expanded upon Amy Pond was for the reason of I collected a bunch of 1.13 underwater goods, and I decided to make it better than just dirt that I had down there before. Because for being an important place, it felt like I needed more than just a bunch of dirt. Howdy, Rye, welcome back. Alright, I guess I wasn't as much cobblestone as I thought. Maybe I missed one. For some reason, I feel like this was supposed to be exactly 2 stacks. Because if the whole thing is an even number, did I miss one? There it is. It is exactly 2 stacks. And howdy, Paul, as well. Oops. Power of Silk Touch. I would say, how did people build with stone before Silk Touch? But then I thought about it and realized, well, you can always cook it up. I wonder how many people wasted glass. I have a dedicated document for all the ideas you're going to come up with. I like keeping all my projects separate in written form. Alright, there we go. So with all that taken care of, I'm going to do the same thing. Oh wait, wasn't that supposed to be stone brick? Well, I guess I'm flipping my design choice. I'm going to have stone for the outer ledge, and then stone brick for the middle one. And I'm feeling like we'll start here and see how I feel with the brick. So also tell me exactly how much of it I'm going to need. feel like though this is gonna make it lose the point. Maybe I should keep red entirely red and only replace the ones with snow. Yeah, because, well, I guess it is still within 2 blocks. We'll see if I put the brick back later. Yeah, I'll just start collecting snow first. I'll deal with that after. That's so much faster. Nope. Inventory's full. Alright, let's see, how's this looking? I feel like everything would have to move over 1 because the way it was positioned. So I don't know how much the W can move. I could just leave it as it is. Because I feel like now, if I were to look at the map, it would be less satisfying. I don't see the Pac-Man with a tongue because I just see a C with an extra dot. What biome are we currently in? Ocean. Does ocean even count as a particular biome? Or I should say, does ocean count as a not cold biome? I feel like oceans would be on the colder side, but not freezing. I don't want to make it a lowercase e. I don't even think I can, because I'd require the top part, the bottom part, and the gap. Top, gap, top, or top, gap, middle, gap, bottom. I'd still need 5 blocks vertical clearance. I was surprised. I guess I'm not going to be using any of the stone brick after all. Alright, there we go. Moral of the story. Go with design A. I don't know who came up with the designs for letters. I feel like Minecraft has always had ocean portions, whether it be inside the world or outside. Unless you're looking at in-dev, inland. Alright, let's see. How are we going? There's another trader. I feel like that's the 3rd one. I thought there was one close to the warehouse, one in the desert, and then now this guy just showed up. Have anything worth buying? No. Pufferfish in a bucket. Maybe I should rename it that. Turn it into a Wally reference. Burgers in a cup. Alright, let's pack up, move out, update the map, that way I can see the artwork, see how it looks. Oop. There's not a way over there. The only recipe that involves emeralds is the block of emerald. To my knowledge, to this day, there's nothing else. There's the smelting recipe. You can smelt an emerald ore to get 1 emerald. That's not a crafting recipe, though. To this day, I'm pretty sure those are the only 3 uses. There's only 3 recipes. Excuse me, Mr. Golem. That's a buzz that important. But nope. Alright, so I need to start putting all my need to start putting all my stuff away. I'm pretty sure you can use beacons for emeralds. You could put the emerald inside the beacon as well to power it. Okay, I ended up not needing that, and that's all empty. That is still entirely full. Alright, toss the stone. Yeah, recolored the emerald block to turn them red because the only original textures were the ruby and the ruby ore. So I used both of those and then created my own block of ruby. I feel like you'd have difficulty building letters in Minecraft on a small scale if you had a lot of modifier marks, whatever their proper name is, little dots or dashes placed, because you would need small detail to represent that, which if you're only working with 5 blocks vertical clearance, you might have difficulty. Chinese, Japanese, Korean. I feel like with some of the small details, there would be difficulty as well for their character sets. If Mojang added actual rubies, I'd replace those with emeralds. I'd go back to the original emerald texture. Not the original emerald, that being what turned into diamond. The one we got in release 1.3. It's kind of like how I swapped armor and hunger. I would swap the ruby and emerald. I feel like Korean has a lot of loops though. It's difficult building circles in Minecraft. I still haven't updated the armor texture. I won't get the opportunity because I'm going to be busy the rest of the week. That's up for those of y'all watching at this moment. I'm not streaming tomorrow or overmorrow. Slime balls. Where do they come from? Alright, so I'm pretty sure everything should have been within this one singular map here. I just updated lighting. What is this? This is a chunk border, right? I'm not crazy. This is a chunk border. I just optimized the world. I did it yesterday, I think. Maybe it was the day before. I can't remember. Either way, it was optimized for 1.16.2 per release. 2 or 3, I think. I don't know why we have lighting bugs again, because I made sure to erase the cache. Well, they done goofed with lighting after 1.14, because it started in 1.15. I don't know what they did. There we go. Man, that brick is so dark. I like my bright red brick much more. Maybe I should use lava. Nope, I can't use lava because wool is flammable and snow will melt. So I'm stuck using the brick there. I think I might swap the E though. Instead of the little nudge being on the bottom, I think I'll move it up to the top. I feel like I'm gonna like it more there. Alright, let's head over here and go full screen. I don't think I can get much better than that, because it's gonna have to be one or the other. I'll probably just leave it there. Something feels off about the middle point, though. I think the issue is that the midsection is supposed to be a circle, but I created a square. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to replace these 4 blocks here, and that way this is completely a square. Excuse me, Mr. Trader. Henry's not here, right? He always goes on a big hunt whenever a trader spawns. Alright, so let's go bring back his 4 brick, and we'll go from there. Oh yeah, I see the details now that I dug that up. It's kind of interesting. It uses the block south of it and uses a different tint of that. People have made very, very fancy art by having the blocks be different layers to get different shading. I don't know how many different layers there are. Something like 4 or 6, maybe 8. And then apply that to each block type. Yeah, the very detailed kanjis, to make sure that the details are preserved, you'd have to write them very large on here. There is... I toss that. Back for Brick. Did anyone ever play Back for Blood? Pretty sure it was meant to be a spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead, made by Turtle Rock Studios, folks who first worked on Left 4 Dead. I want to say it had mixed reviews at launch. I don't know if it ever improved since then. But you know what? While I'm here, I'm just going to pick about 4 of these because I don't know how many trees I chopped down in the area. I realized having the water in the background and from a distance, it almost looks like the texture for the fast graphics leaves. Because I want to say, leaves on fast graphics, it's entirely black or very, very dark green that's used to fill in the background. I haven't compared the 2 textures in a while though. It is entirely black. That's what I was thinking. I feel like we had this discussion before, but I'm going to ask the same question that I thought I asked however long ago. Is there a language that is considered perfect in terms of structure based on how us as humans think? Because I feel like I asked something like that before, for the reason of, does not every language has its positives and negatives to it? Where is that? That's down here. It's entirely personal. I feel like there's one one example given that a lot of positives, and I can't remember. Because I don't even remember when it was, because I thought I asked this a while ago. Perfect as in makes most logical sense. Ah, come on. This one dirt's bothering me. Turn to grass. If you don't, I will make you grass. Alright, let me steal a grass block from over here. Watch it turn to dirt right before me. Nope, too slow. There we go. Alright, I feel a little better now. Yep, we're all done. There we go, now this map has a compass on it. I was considering adding the X and Z markers as well. But when I got done with the design, I realized I would need much more space for that. So I kind of left it as it is. Conrad the Traitor. It's not traitor, it's traitor. Unless Conrad the Traitor is a reference to something else. Alright, so now, time to figure out what we're doing next. Because, as of right now, I don't know what we're going to do next. What is the definition, the dictionary definition of an artificial language? Conrad used to be a co-worker. Interesting. Oh wait, hold on, I did need a map. Beep beep. There we go. A little small, I suppose. But I didn't really want a ginormous compass on here because then I'd be missing out on a lot of space. Even though, truth be told, there's a lot of space on here that's just grass right now. I'm not using it for anything. That's alright. I feel like I had a plan and I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I think it's gonna show up down here. I kind of forgot about the tiny map. Searched it up and it just says constructed language. Is not all language constructed when first conceived, though? I guess that's the part I'm trying to figure out. Oh, I'm seeing it. I see 2 pixels. A whopping 5 pixels. That's what we're looking at. Made this tiny plus sign on here. At least now I know how this mathematically separates. And a zoink. Let's reset the weather timer. The point of language is for communication. If you're unable to communicate with it, is it really language? Never a point where they're first conceived? Did we just start making sounds and decided this is what the sounds mean? I wonder if there are any other places. I don't feel like updating the map. Oh, you know what? Nah, never mind, I'll wait. Unless there's the possibility. Nah, I don't think. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I know what I was gonna do. I was gonna check for. Oh, wait, hold up. Excuse me, slimes. Hold on, let me put away that real fast, because I know what we're doing. I was supposed to check whether or not I picked up a soul speed book, because I thought I did, but if I didn't, then that's an oopsies on my part. I also need to repair my shovel, so we'll probably be passing by the end, which is why first I wanted to see if I had that book with me to take to the end. We'll keep that there for repairs. Because I thought I left behind an enchanted book, and I need to verify whether or not it's still there. Soul Speed 3, I was right. This is what I was looking for. Alright, because I was trying to find it yesterday or Monday, because I thought, no, I should say, I remembered having a Soul Speed book, but I didn't know where it ended up. Howdy, welcome back. So I was right. How did a pig get in the sheep farm? Flashbacks to, I think it was Captain Laser Guns, and 2 music videos counteract each other. There's one that had 1 chicken in a sheep pen, and then in another one it had 1 sheep in a chicken pen. Minor detail. To the end. Go, 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 while we still have the speed. You know what I should do? Maybe I should put down pressure plates on those doors. This place is entirely enclosed. Yeah, tone and inflection are separate from reacting to any language. That would be basic communication that animals, well, many animals are capable of doing. And Hadank. You'd probably understand meaning and stuff. Alright, where's the boat? Where's the pole? Said the one woman in Wipeout. We're almost there. Alright, hopefully we're not here too long. It's mostly just to see if I'd even have the possibility of, under normal circumstances, being able to put this on my boots, because I'm pretty sure all this has changed. I really would want to know, if it would be too expensive, how much it would be. Let's see if I have something basic, like I'm breaking 3. So that's 12. That would be 3. So what that means is soul speed would be far more expensive. Or soul speed 3 is more expensive than I'm breaking by 3 times as much. Unless it's in basic math, in which Where my armor stuff? In which case, the soul speed would be 9 points difference. Maybe this one is my armor. I'll leave this bottom right. No, top right. I'll deal with that later. Oh, wait, hold on, let's not eat yet. Let's grab a sword and repair the goods. And I'm not going to do any enchanting this time because I'll probably on my own time gather as much XP as what would be required to fix the stuff. Oh wait, hold up, wrong way. Since English borrowed a lot of words... Where's I going with that? Hold on, I had an idea. If English borrowed a lot of words, for what purpose was the... For what purpose did English serve initially? There we go. That's probably the best way I could describe my question. I'll probably repair my other stuff while I'm here. Same as any other language to communicate. Well, if it's based on what came before, was there no dedicated reason and it was just, that's how people started talking. Deviations added up to something different. Kinda interesting then, you realize stuff only comes into existence afterward. Alright, well, that was fun while it lasted. People start talking different for no particular reason. Humans are odd. Alright, so we can now put the sword back, and away we go. Time to go look at the bounty board, figure out what I want to do next for the next hour and 15 minutes. I feel like I had a plan, but whatever that plan was I had earlier this week, they're already completed it. Oh, you know what? I know what it was. I was cooking all that glass. I'll need to grab a bunch of coal. Severe thunderstorm, I would appreciate it, you sending it my way. It's a hot, sunny day over here. I had yard work to do earlier. Sad times. It's currently updating 85 Fahrenheit with an expected high of 101. And turns out I did not last sleep in my the sleeping bag that I have by the campfire. There we go. So far this summer, Laugh says it's not summer for another 3 days. So say the calendars. Alright, let's see if we can catch some of these real fast here. Well, you know what? While I'm in the area, I'll put away the colored wolf first. 87 is currently slightly toastier than what it is currently. You're also 3 hours ahead of me. If you go far enough back, what all would have been happening at that time? And where's my colored wool? Alright, so we needed Zoink. We're slowly going up on slime balls. It's the legend himself. Last I checked, I'm pretty sure I'm no legend. And hadonk. Catch some Z's, reset the weather timer. Grab an inch of coal and prepare. It has been many years since I last heard, I should say last heard a video to how to properly pronounce that. Oop, a little more. Alright, I don't know if I need 3 stacks, but we're gonna go for it. You know, no, I'll just take the whole set of 36 with me as well. All the calendars I see start the seasons right around the 21st for the reason of winter solstice. Or I should say both solstices, question mark, and the equinoxes. Although based on average temperature, that's not what it feels like. And I went too far. Is where I was going. Knock knock. Alright, so. Oh boy. I'm now realizing how much coal I'm gonna need. Alright, let's toss all that real fast. This is such a slow process. It'd be cool if one day I was able to have a streamlined version, but I'm not sure when that'll be happening. You know what? I should have done this first because look at all the XP I'm getting. It may not look like much, but seeing as I'm at 34, the XP from all this glass is adding up rather quickly. And you know what? I did not turn the audio back up. We the folk. I still say folks all the time. That's just me though. Ah, so close. So I'll need a little more than a stack, it would appear. Well, at least we're all set now. Volkswagen, the people wagon. I should start calling it that now. I don't know how often I see VW vehicles around here though. Oh. Oh, what a mess. That's not cool. That's gonna have to move. Alright, sorry, you're all going back in there. Alright, all this colored glass is gonna be moved up to the top here. And who's buzzing me now? I'm working. I'm not getting paid, but I'm gonna say I'm working. Alright, so now... This would be a good time if I had one of those sorting buttons. Okay, but with all the glass moved up there, I can keep moving with all of this in here. That's the time to decide, though. Do I want to add another 36 slots? Because this would be 27, 31, which means I'd be going a little bit into the third chest. Maybe what I could do is take the glass from one of those. Because if it's 36 stacks, I don't know how much glass I'm going to need. But I'm thinking maybe I should start cooking more of it up now for the reason of this is what will be required. Alright, I'll just grab... all I needed a stack. I guess I'm going to need a lot more than that, though. We'll take half a stack. And then just toss it in there. Conversation got here because talking about language. Take care of all that. Alright, so we're going to deconstruct all this real fast. Or, let me toss that first. Deconstruct. Oh, that wasn't that much. You know what? I think I'm going to need even more coal. But I'll take care of that later. I'll just toss it all in there for now. And so this is the part where I grab all the sand. Let's start cooking. So while the glass in here is cooking up, we're going to start with the glass that we have already completed, because I kept talking about that snow globe. The time has come for us to do what I said I was supposed to do. Oopsies. You know what I could do? No, that'd still be slow. If I really wanted, if I had a way to set up a hopper on the back wall of each of these, all I would have to do is throw the items into the hopper. That'd be faster than needing to go to my inventory and all this stuff. Not yet hit like the button because it's not me. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, hit the like button. Some people, currently 2 people have hit the like button. For as much as people say like the videos, I don't know if that's just a positive thing or if there's some sort of algorithmic reason for doing so. Because from what I've heard, watch time is most valuable, at least in the current state of YouTube. Alright, so with that, we're going to need much more coal as I've learned my mistake from last time. So we're going to grab all of this here, plus the extra 2. And there we go. Interacting with comments is indeed part of that as well, from a video that I chose not to watch because I already knew kind of where it was going. There's a video about an experiment I didn't want to partake in, and so the experiment was going around for a few weeks, and it was something like some big tuber guy had a plan to record a full video and then after a certain amount of time cut it in half. And so after getting all the watch time for that full video, the percentage of that watch time would essentially double because the video was half as long. So there's a whole experiment with all that going on. And so because I kind of knew where it was going with that, I chose not to watch the video. And then afterward, though, I watched the video of the explaining the experiment, because that was more interesting to me. The legend who reached the Nether Farlands legitimately before anyone else. To be a legend, you have to be widely known. Are there not unknown legends? What makes a legend a legend? Alright, we'll catch some Z's, reset the weather timer, then we'll decide where to put that snow globe. Of course, I say that now after spending a whole bunch of snow on a giant compass. Local legend makes more sense. I occupy a very small sliver of the internet, unless somehow I completely take it over when my Triangle game is published, because millions of people seem to love the game. Shrek closes the book. Like that's ever gonna happen. Alright. Quick peek at the map. I think I already have a general idea for where I want to build the snow globe. I should probably verify the biomes over there, because I want to do it up north, up to where I've been working on the establishment, close to the bee farm and all that, and the Zelenate Co. Am I missing stuff on there? Why does this feel outdated? There's something I could put in there. Guess I'll put the bacon in my offhand temporarily, because it feels like I'm missing. That's not what I wanted. Feels like I'm missing some stuff. Hold on, let me grab some dirt real fast. Oh, you know what? I didn't update the farm. That's what's missing from here. There was a video y'all were talking about. It annoyed me just a little bit, truth be told. It was a video of someone, I can't remember his name. It was being talked about a couple weeks ago when it was newer, of someone trying to find the Nether Farlands. The funniest part from that video is the question was asked, do they even exist? Yet a portion of one of my Walk into the Farland streams was included, which means, buddy, if you watch till the end, they do exist, because I was already there. And oh well. Such is how it goes. You say you found that guy. I'm pretty sure, if I looked at timestamps again, I'm pretty sure I watched the video before you. Only by a couple days or something. And then the most annoying part for me was, there's the farm. That's not the most annoying part. The most annoying part was, of the people he could ask in terms of the Farlands and getting to the Farlands, out of all the people, He went with someone unrelated, completely unrelated to the whole Little Farlands community. Someone I probably don't plan on watching regularly. Good old Wunva, who made me mad for other reasons in the past, but that's alright. Okay, so that one's updated. And now this one's updated as well. So it looks like I was right. I totally did forget about the farm. Well, the wheat's doing good at least. It's not that he stole the record for making the largest map in hardcore, it's that a lot of people think he has the largest map, when that's not the case. Because not enough normies are gonna know the identifier. And who was stepping on my crops? We're not gonna till that though, because I don't have anything planted yet. There have been plenty of people spreading disinformation about InfDev. Oh wait, hold on. There was another video that I didn't feel like watching because I was like, oh no, that's not true. I'm not gonna get involved with that. There's another video he made, the same guy who made the Nether Farlands video. The video he released previously was about monoliths being the rarest structure, based on thumbnail and title. And I think to myself, sure, they may be rare generation, but like, if you have a good seed, you can spawn right next to one. Monoliths are completely unrelated to stuttering zones. Monoliths existed before stuttering zones. Stuttering zones are also not unplayable. You just have to not deal with them. I still need to look into specific axes that stuttering zones exist upon, but that's going to be a large-scale experiment because I'd have to know where they exist. I should say where they start up, and then I'll have to manually search for what the patterns are. Because once I have them repeatedly occurring, all you have to do is walk into one of them and you'll be able to mark out your 3x3, the 3x3 chunks that they occur in. And so once you do that several times within a smaller area, that'll give you an idea for where they can occur. Every world, I should say every seed for those InfDev and alpha versions will have monoliths generate. It's just a matter of where. That's all seed dependent. Because with how large an InfDev world is, 64 by 64 million, not even that because you don't get monoliths in the Farlands. 12 and a half times 2, 25. Around 25 by 25 million blocks of monolith spawning area. You're gonna have many monoliths on any seed that generate within those coordinates. I feel like I was going with something else unrelated to that. Maybe it was some sort of addendum to stuttering zones and the whole experiment. Oh well, not important enough. If all your in-depth chests are safe to open, are you playing release 1.7? No, maybe it was like release 1.4. You know, I can't remember when those block IDs are last used up. I feel like something magical would need to happen if Wumba ever caught wind of my presence. Beta 1.7. Has it really been that long? I didn't open my in-depth chests until release 1.7. Partly because I didn't want to deal with all the stuff in there. Plus, if the chests were safe to open, I'd be obligated to move them. Which I only did somewhere around 1.6, I think. We're gonna deal with all the dirt splotches there on the right map, but oh well. At some point it'll be grass, but I'll update the map again later. What I probably should have done is acquired more inventory space. I feel like placing blocks in individual chests is a smarter way to go about block organization when it comes to museums, because then it's scalable for items as well. But equally so, you don't have to deal with the properties of the blocks themselves. For example, crops can only be planted on farmland, which means you also need water to keep the farmland hydrated. At least to start out that way. Or fire. Lava will set stuff on fire. The thing with that, though, is once you get to release 1.8, the blocks will be deleted. A lot of them. And then once you get to 1.13, even more stuff will be deleted. Alright, what am I looking for? I'm looking for a building space. It looks like the snow globe I would want would probably be on the left of the farm. I'm ever so slowly starting to expand that way, though that's not particularly what I want. If I were to include Zelenite Co. in all this... Hold on, let me look at something real fast. I'm gonna go back to the recipe book, but I need a crafting table for that. Nom, 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 nom. I'm pretty sure... I don't know if I'll ever have official confirmation for this, but I'm pretty sure I spread around the block museum idea for Polyworlds, for the reason being, not convinced, not even persuaded. I was inspiration for Method to work on a block museum, and so a lot of people watch Method stuff. A lot of other people watched people who watched Method, so they all ended up with block museums. And now so on and so forth, here we are. Congratulations, one random person who commented on Nolatrum's video 9 years ago. Alright, so I'm looking for... I already have the glass. Oh, you know what? I said I was going to look into something else real fast. I needed the crafting book. Recipe book? Does this even have an official name? It doesn't have a tag when you hover over it. We're looking for concrete. Because concrete is made from gravel, but I can't remember what the other material is. But wait, don't tell me. I wanna figure it out for myself. That's where the fun part comes in. Probably. Hold on, why is iron? Oh. That's what that means. I forgot we had bamboo. I should do stuff with bamboo. No, that's not true. We don't have the bamboo planks yet. I'll do stuff with that later. Oh my gosh, it looks like there are 4 bars because the way the titanium and gold is crafted. That's funny. Okay, I'm getting distracted by the recipes. How is there no sort feature? I still don't even know how the recipe book is laid out. This feels so convoluted. I don't think there's any order to this. Yeah, I'm looking for concrete powder. Did I just totally miss it? I don't know where it would be. There we go. Okay, so it's sand. Guess who just dumped a bunch of sand? Okay, so it's sand and gravel with the dye. That's the part I couldn't remember. I knew it was gravel, I couldn't remember what the other stuff was. Disco mountains are made up of hardened clay. Yeah, so I guess I do have that shulker box. Alright, well, I was thinking about working on that parking lot for Zelenate, but I think I'll just do that later since I currently have all the glass on me now. So we're going to start out with the dome. And this is going to be a little difficult because I'll have to figure out how to make it. Because I can't just do a half dome. Snow globes don't look like that. Snow globes are usually around 3/4 of a sphere. Coming tomorrow is not much of a deviation as expected for its arrival today. I think that's what we were first talking about on Monday. 48-hour delivery, and 48 hours have now passed. And then you were told today, sent out. Alright, so option A is right here. I would have to get rid of that layer. You know, maybe I wouldn't. Maybe I'll just get rid of that one and then spread the dirt over to there. So option A is building the snow globe there. We're probably going to turn off the resource pack though, because not only based on design, I'll need to make sure that the snow I have doesn't melt. I don't even know if snow melts in deserts, but I'd rather not figure that out the not fun way. Option B was over here in front of the farm. I feel like with all the other content Wamba has made, I feel like him having the largest map isn't going to be a talking point very much. Over here is much larger, but the problem is, if I were to ever expand the farm forward, putting a giant snow globe right about here would hinder any future development for that. As if I were to put it up higher, maybe on here. Decisions. First, I'm going to have to start out with a circle for the base, and then I'll build it up from there. Otherwise, I could just do this the easy way and just have a giant piece of glass. Giant glass half dome. Don't tell me an Enderman stole my dirt. Guess it would have been grass when you picked it up. Probably. Now, you know what? While we're here, we'll take care of the bees real fast. I'm thinking of going with option A, though. We're going to have a quick look at the biome map, though, because I don't know what biome is over there. So I'm going to do the thing that I rarely do. Let's turn off the resource pack. First things first, so let's take care of all this. Let me grab a couple lilacs real fast. Alright, any bees popping out? Why is it they always go into hiding whenever I show up here? Alright, there's you. Any other bees? I have 9 in here. Or 8? Oh no, I don't remember. That's why I have a sign. Alright, and 1 for you. 1 for you. There you go. Alright, make another one. Oh wait, hold up. 1 for you. 1 for you. Hooray, I got +2 bees. Alright, cool. So what are we at now? So we were at 9, now we're at 11. 11 out of 12. There we go. So that means pretty soon I'm going to need to put more nests and hives in there. Alright, let's head back over to level 1, area A. Sector A. I should label these as sectors. Maybe I should put giant markers on the ground. Region dividers. That sounds like a lot of work I don't need to do. Alright, so if this is all ocean, we'll be good. That's a swamp. Snow doesn't melt in swamps, right? River. Hey, found a river we were talking about earlier. Maybe the other place is going to work better for biomaps. Let's just get a quick visual. Doop. Gonna turn programmer art on. No Joppa for me. Oh, there's a lot of swamp here. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I kind of forgot how much swamp there was in this world. Oh my gosh, my tree sanctuary looks ugly. The ocean it would have been fine, except I'm not sure how I'm feeling about the swamp. This world got so much darker. Did it just get cold in here? Alright, well, we're gonna head over to option B and see if that's any better. Because if it's equally as swampy, might as well just do it here. Doo-doo-doo. It looks like the biomes over here might be doing better. Hold on, what is that? That can't be a jungle, because I would only have biomes. I should say I would only have 1.1 biomes in here. So this is more ocean, right? So what is this? Forest? This is a forest, that'd be alright. Oh, there's a desert right here, though. I think. Should be desert. Yeah, good old 1.1 desert. Alright, well, I can't build the snow globe in the desert, but thankfully, I'm not going to be that close. Alright, what is this? Plains, maybe? This is beach. This is all beach. There's a large beach here, I didn't realize that. When every color looks the same, you can't see the difference. Alright, well, I'm thinking over here might be a better opportunity. I'll take the forest over the swamp. Alright, well, let's get back to how things are supposed to be. The way Notch intended. I say in all seriousness because all the colors only changed after Notch left. Alright, I'm thinking this level should be fine. Because the desert starts right around there, I believe. So yeah, I can either fill in this level or get rid of what's already here. With the amount of dirt I have, I might be able to fill it in. Alright, one thing at a time. Let's start getting the circle ready. Time for pancakes. Pancaking the terrain, that's what we're doing. Now I'm kind of hungry for pancakes, even though I don't think I'll get the opportunity to have pancakes for a while. Alright, time to catch some Z's, reset the weather timer. Pretty sure the rings are just giant sine waves. I don't know how much noise there is, because it's mathematically should be a sine wave that sort of fizzles out. Anyone else hear an audio issue? No drop frames, which means I don't think it's internet related. I can always do the early day IT guy, unplug it and plug it back in. You know, why am I even filling this in with dirt? No issues. I'm gonna say it's an Ian problem then. If no one else heard any audio difference. Is your hardware failing you already? I thought this was your nice computer. Do you know how to set a microphone frequency? Because I think to myself, how do you just set a single frequency? How do you modulate incoming audio to one set frequency? Is your iPhone 16? Is the hardware failing you already? Is Apple's planned obsolescence kicking in? Alright, so I'm looking at... How do I want to do this? You know what I could do? I could start out with a border. So I'm probably not going to fill in much on that side if I keep it more so designed over here. So let me just dig up all this real fast, even though I'm pretty sure I placed a lot of that. So a number just popped into my head, that's 27. So let me try to visualize what 27 is going to look like if I were to just casually make something 27 blocks wide. To the circle generator. Alright, so what we are looking for is 7 blocks first. So that would be starting out, let's say here. 5, 6, 7. Filters for a compressor. That's not the same. That's not what you were describing. So, low pass filter is what you're referring to. 1, 2, 3. Let me get rid of all this real fast. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Proper terminology. I understand what you're saying. Don't know when I'll get around to ever doing that, even though I know rather simple. I have pretty sure I have a decibel level compressor currently on. I don't think I have a frequency compressor enabled. We're gonna set this to a thin border so it's easier to see. So it's 3, 1. Oh, in fact, hold on, I'm thinking about this wrong. Because if it's supposed to be the border, 6, 7, 1, 1, 2. So it's 3, 1, 2. That's the part that's a little weird. 3, 1, 2. Because then it's the other 2, 1. Then you got 1, 2, 3. 7. I'm gonna really hope I'm doing this right. I'll start again on this side. There we go, all complete, mathematically. So this is what we're looking at, just for the base of the snow globe. So this is gonna go up a few layers. And then I'm gonna have everything above that. So I guess maybe I could just fill this in entirely with dirt. I could keep it hollow underneath, I don't know what I'll do. But yeah, if I'm gonna build a comedically small house in this giant snow globe, this is what we're gonna be starting out with. This is where the glass comes in. But first, we'll build this up. We're gonna start out with 2 blocks. Alright, so first things first is we're just gonna put a ring all the way around here. Do I start inside or outside? This one's Silk Touch. If I'm gonna be expanding outward, I'll put one on the inside for now, just while I'm building, but I'm gonna get rid of it. Oops. At some point, I'll go back to the warehouse and pick up more of the dirt, so that way I can keep building upward. OBS does not have a low pass filter for microphones by default. Explains why I never saw it before and why I only have a gain compressor. Alright, so let's get a refund on all the glass. Or is that supposed to be like that? 2, 1. Do I know what's special about 11,000 hertz? On the math side of things, humans hear between 20 and 20,000 hertz. That is mathematically halfway. You know, the way it all works out. It's not the same. Alright, let me bring all this in. Frequency that all voice lines in Half-Life 1 used. That's why you wanted it. I'm not a fan of the original crunchy Half-Life 1 audio. Even though I know the bitrate's not the same as frequency. There we go, I think all this is now completed. Well, respawn point sent, come on. Can I catch some Z's? Reset the weather timer. And huzzah, there we go. Alright, so how's this looking so far? I like to say it's a starting point. So now what I would need to do is start making a globe out of this, I guess. I need some sort of building block. I don't have a way to get up there. Alright, so with that taken care of, what we're doing now, I realize I should build this up by 1, because now I'm going to need to construct the whole next layer as 29. Oops, I dropped a glass. I see it down there. I'll pick it up soon. Should be able to place beds on glass. Pretty sure after 1.12 you could put beds anywhere. Because you can even have floating beds now. They made beds much nicer in 1.12. Alright, so with that taken care of, now, boop boop, on to 29. Alright, so we are looking at 732111. One, two, 111, I think. Yep. Alright, cool. Just making sure that this one's right. So this is where things get a little interesting, because I'll need to fill in the corners here as they pop up. Oops. I'll take that, thank you. Nope. I would totally watch a Half-Life movie. There is one in the planned works, although I'm pretty sure that one was put on hold as the Portal movie has higher priority. Pretty sure it's been a few years since we last heard anything about that project, though. I think it was still J.J. Abrams planning to direct it. Alright, cool. With all that taken care of, now I'm able to get rid of everything on top of this glass. As long as it's not outside. Like this one. That one's outside, because there's nothing underneath that. Did you ever watch I think it was 1993. Did you ever watch the 1993 Super Mario Brothers movie? Boy, that was something. And then they tried again with a new movie. Performed much better. There's another game. Doom. Doom has had 2, maybe 3 movie adaptations. I want to say the older one was a lot closer in style and design to, I think, Doom 3. trying to think other adaptations I know. Other ones that came out before Sonic. Because I can't remember when the secondary Doom movie came out. Oh well. Alright, I think now I'm good. I hope. Question is, I don't know how wide this is supposed to be. That's where the big question comes from. I don't know how large this is going to end up being. I feel like this is going to end up looking much nicer than if I kept the original texture. I should say the vanilla texture that had the streaks in it. I feel like taking out the streaks in this glass texture was a good thing. Alright, hopefully I'm all set. So I should only have the 2 blocks for each corner that doesn't have glass on it. I say corner as if this was a square. What's the difference between loading custom files and loading the loading regular files? Should those not perform the same operations? What if every level was external? That way, you would have one streamlined process for everything. All the custom levels would be built in the exact same way as the built-in levels. Notch had to use some sort of Windows or some sort of native API for those files. 7321111. Okay, so that's the same thing. One. Interesting. Alright, cool. We're done counting. If you want to know how Notch did something in InDev, whip out a version of InDev and decompile it. I'm sure there are mappings for every InDev version by now. I want to say Retro MCP is very complete by this point. It's one of those times where I hear the number in my head when I break these. For how many blocks per side I've gone. Alright, there we go. Let's catch some Z's, reset the weather timer. It's not night yet. Says who? Guess the sun hadn't reached the horizon yet. There we go. Remember when waking up here in the bed, waking up in the bed in Minecraft, it would immediately turn day? Those were the days. But now you wake up, you see darkness for a quick second, and then it becomes day. What I'm probably going to do is have... You know what, I'll see how wide this ends up being. We are on... Now, let's see, that was... Oopsies. 27, 29, 31. This next one's going to be 33. 33 blocks wide. Alright, so how's this looking? 7, 2, 2, 2. Alright, so we finally moved up. It all shifted over now. Alright, so... You know what I could do? I could start out with the 7 all the way around, and then do the 2, 2, 2. 1, yeah. 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2. Full sneeze coming. Can I just pineapple this one away? I'm getting hungry. That's not true. I've been hungry for the past 45 minutes. I'm ready for food. But alas, still have at least 15 minutes left of streaming time. Alright, so 2, 2, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 1, 1. Hold up. Wait. Is it 9 instead of 7? It is. Alright, hold up. Aha! So it's not 7 anymore. We've leveled up. We've made it to 9. Okay, so we're going to redo all of these edges real fast. So that's 2, 2, 2. 1, 1. Hold up, this is still offset. Why is it still offset? Because it's 9, 2, 2, 2. 1, 1. 9, 2, 2, 2. How is this not adding up correctly? Something's not right. I don't know what's wrong with this corner. I'm going to deal with that later, though. So we're going to start out on this side. Expand it to 9. So then it's 2, 2, 2. Then 1, 1. Oh, the doorbell, we're going to ignore that. 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2. So that's corner I did right. I don't know what went wrong with over here. 9, looks like I expanded that. Good job, me of the past. So there's 8. There's 9. Alright, there we go. So half of it's now complete. Doorbell reveal. Were you able to hear that? My bedroom door is currently open. I don't have anything fancy like the Westminster chimes. Oh, you know what? I think I know what happened. This is supposed to be shifted over. I ended up placing 2 blocks on that side. This one doesn't belong here. 1, 2, 1, 2. 2, 2. Alright, there we go. So now let me verify this side real fast. Alright, there we go. That's all I did wrong. Oops. Alright, so now we bring in all the extra that I have in here. I would expect it to not use NVT. NVT is a Minecraft thing, I'm pretty sure. Unless it's a library not used. And he liked the format, which is why it became the primary format for Minecraft. In terms of saving and loading. Oops, keep that one there. It's not a block beneath. The basis for it very well could be then popular for smaller projects or projects that have a lot of different types of data but are still small. Alright, there we go. I think this is gonna be good enough. Trackmania is AAA. It's not small scale project. I have an idea. No, Trackmania is not typically considered a AAA game. While it's developed by a well-known studio and published by a major company, Trackmania's gameplay and pricing model deviate from the expectations of a AAA title. It is more accurately described as a niche racing game with a strong focus on user-created content and a unique physics-based gameplay style. If you want to disagree with what Google said, feel free to disagree with what Google said. Don't worry, there are plenty of times I disagree with what Google said. I've heard of Ubisoft for sure. I own some of their games. But yeah, we're going to do one more. So 35 is going to be the midpoint. So after 35, we're going to start going back to 33 and then we'll complete the dome. That was the AI overview. Because I didn't feel like taking stream time to sort this out. The AI overview typically comes from one source, from what I've witnessed in the past. So it's about source reliability. I didn't feel like going through the links of everything that it listed. Alright, so we're looking at 9321111. Thanks. This is a snow globe. It'll be a snow globe once I'm done. I'll just start out with a 9, go from there. At least this way I don't have to scale up anymore, but I will have to scale down. Oh, it might be a little difficult when I have to design the inside. Man, building circles in Minecraft can be a bit challenging. Building spheres in Minecraft is even more challenging. Alright, so 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2. We'll catch some Z's though, the Zilla Moon rises. Oh no, my bed! Get back here! And that means I don't have a way to get back up. I'm pretty sure Google, its AI, would not be a singular shelf of GPUs. If the image I have in my mind is accurate, you're looking at a warehouse with rows and rows. This was an image I last saw a long time ago. Long time meaning, I don't know, 2, 3 years. Feels long. Alright, where did I drop my bed? Where did I start? That's the question. Alright, so 3, 3, 2, then I'll deal with the ones later. Is there a reason why you decided to say as far as I can throw it out of all the possible analogies you could have come up with? Just thinking about it, I don't think I've ever heard anyone use that phrase before. 3, 2. Common phrase around these parts. I'm not from these parts. Three, 2. Alright, are we done? That part's done, so now we just do 1, 1, 1, 1, 5. Ah, got in my way. How am I doing on glass? Good thing I totally stockpiled on glass. I'm seeing now how expensive this will indeed be. Good job, me of the past, making sure to prepare. Looks like this project's gonna have to be finished up next week. I don't know if it's city versus country thing. It very well could be, but it just feels like this part of the US versus that part of the US. we done? Oh, nope, hold up a little more. Now I think we're done. Alright, cool. So imagine this upside down, essentially. Take this, flip it upside down, add it on top of what we currently have, and then complete the dome. And I should mathematically have, therefore, a complete dome after this. OBS says 4 minutes because I done goofed. So what we do now is... what are we at? 35, right? So now we got to go down to 33. All right, so this is where things are going to get difficult because now instead of going out by 1, I have to go in by 1. So it's 9, right? 9, 2, 2, 2. Are y'all tired of me saying 2 yet? Because I'm going to keep saying it. 9. I'm going to start out with the 9s because those are fast. We're going to really hope that a sphere is just a collection of circles, because if a sphere is not a collection of circles, this is not going to look right. Alright, so then now we do 2 blocks. 2, 2, 2. Oops. One, two, 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 two twos. I already feel like this is going to end up being a lot flatter, and it's not going to look like a sphere. But if that happens, I'm not going to fix it. It's just going to end up being a giant flying saucer. If it turns into a giant flying saucer, though, I'm calling it and not redoing again. This is already a very slow process. Alright, so now we have 2 minutes, says OBS. Because I was doing something and then I looked at the clock and said, oh, tick-tock 10 o'clock, I'm supposed to start right now. Oops. I had yard work to do earlier, so I did that for an hour, 45 minutes maybe. Then I came back inside and was resting up as I prepared for the stream. I should say resting up before preparing for the stream. And then I rested up too long and said, oh, I gotta go. Well, like I was saying, as we stumbled upon last little bit, I will not be streaming the rest of the week. I'll be out of town for the most part. It's not that bad because I'm already missing 1 day, so this is going to get me slightly closer to catching up. Because I'm currently 1 day behind, this will put me 3 days behind, which means I have 2 more days I get to cheap out on at some time within the next few weeks. Then that'll put me at 1 week left, I think, of free time, if I did the math right. Because I'm still lining up my weeks to the best of my ability, but I gave myself 4 extra weeks of non-stream time to make sure that if real life happens, I would be all set. And so thankfully, I've used up 2 weeks of that, and after this week, we're going to be using up about 2.5 weeks of that. So we'll be getting closer. Alright, so this is 33. Now I go down to 31. What's happening soon? I'll be attending a wedding. That's what I'm doing Friday, but we're going down for the rehearsal tomorrow. And so, I'll be out of town most of tomorrow, all of Friday probably. But yeah, that's indeed all it for today. We'll be back again next time as we continue to work more on this and hope it ends up being circular, but we'll see. Anything can happen. But yep, that's indeed all it for today. Thank you all for watching. Bye.